Welcome back to From the Shed End. Welcome back to a brand new video. Thank you very much for joining. Now, before we get into the content, please go and subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also hit that Linktree link in the description as well. That will take you to all our podcast episodes and all our social accounts as well. Now, brilliant news. What a way to end what has been a turbulent, crazy season. But the official announcement has come out now. Mauricio Pochettino has signed a deal to become the new head coach of Chelsea. He will be in charge from the 1st of July. Great news to some people. Some people wanted this deal. Myself, I wanted it to be announced as soon as possible. It seems to be that. So as it says within the official club statement, the Argentine will begin his new role on the 1st of July 2023 on a 2-year contract with a club option of a further year. So it does mean obviously that, look, he's coming in. It makes sense for me, in my opinion, to not have him on an 8-year deal. Very much similar. It seems like, the hierarchy have made the mistake with Graham Potter, putting him on such a big, long contract, and then having to potentially give him a compensation package that, although it was reduced, it was still a massive compensation package. And I think this gives us what we should have done with Graham Potter was to analyse, assist. Let's see what Mauricio Pochettino can do within those 2 years. Let's see if he needs a further year. Maybe after 2 years, it makes way to part ways. Hopefully it doesn't, but it gives the safety net for the club not to be tied down to an 8-year deal with a manager who clearly hasn't got the right beliefs or the right tools to do the job. Me personally, I think Mauricio Pochettino has all the tools, has all the knowledge of the Premier League, being in those winning mentality, albeit with Spurs, but being able to push them as far as he could and get to a ceiling with them. I think he can go even further with us. I really do. We are going to talk about Pochettino, what he needs to do, what he needs to try and achieve in the summer to try and get us back to where we need to be shortly. But I do want to talk about some of not the actual match yesterday, but some of the reactions from some of the players that might be leaving. You look at Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who got a standing ovation as he was subbed off, and you clearly see that there was some sort of emotion there for him. It was very emotional for him to come off to a standing ovation. Gave Azpilicueta a hug as he came off. Hugged Frank Lampard as well. It kind of gave me the sense that Ruben Loftus-Cheek probably knows that he won't be playing at Stamford Bridge next season, or the likelihood that he is at Stamford Bridge is very minimal. So it did make me think maybe there's a deal that might be getting done. There was a lot of talk about AC Milan a couple of weeks ago with Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Another one as well, Mason Mount, who was caught as well walking around the stands, very emotional, and also came back out after the fans had left Stamford Bridge to take in Stamford Bridge just one more time, possibly as a Chelsea player to come back as a non-Chelsea player next season could well be on the cards for him. So I think for him, he took it in. There's a lot of emotion you could see from him as well. Again, of course, Cesar Azpilicueta, another one, the massive banner that was there for him ahead of kickoff as well. But you could see, even just with the post afterwards, the social media post that he put out, you could see that this was, although he's got a year left on his contract, you could see that this was probably the time for him to go elsewhere. And as we said on Twitter, as we've said, myself, Theo, other Chelsea fans have said, this is a player that has won it all, is a legend, whether people want to call him a legend or not. He's a Chelsea legend. Azpilicueta deserves all the applause, all the praise that he's been getting over the last couple of weeks. We've obviously criticised him over his recent time because of the performances, and obviously the legs aren't there for him. But overall, when you look back on his career at Chelsea, it's second to none. It's unbelievable what he's achieved and won every trophy possible as a Chelsea player. So we've got to give him his credit as well. But those three players definitely looked like that was their exit. That was their final Chelsea performance. And it is sad. It's a sad day. Obviously, you don't want to see anyone leave the club, but times have to move on. And with those timely with the announcement today with Mauricio Pochettino, I'm all on board. And it's definitely, hopefully, the start of something to come for this club. But let's talk about what Mauricio Pochettino needs to try and do, because I think I've wrote down a couple of things here clearly that he needs to do to try and get us back to where we need to be. And if we're honest, first and foremost, I put this tweet out today. He needs to clear out the Deadwood. Now, I think our squad is at 31, maybe even 33 players. That is too much. You want a 25, maybe 24-man squad to go into next season. We are overcapacitated in all aspects. And there are some players, I look at maybe Lewis Hall, who's shown the qualities of a left back as a left wing back. Even, I would say, give him an opportunity next season. Pochettino loves young players. He loves to try and nurture and bring through talent, and I think even you're looking at the likes of Madueke, Mudryk, those sort of players, Carney Chukwuemeka, they should thrive under a Pochettino. But in terms of the squad overall, as I just mentioned, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, possibly Mason Mount, maybe Trevor Chalobah, even maybe N'Golo Kante, who still hasn't signed that new deal, Christian Pulisic, Kai Havertz. These players might actually not have a role to play at the club anymore. So I think first and foremost, we have to get rid of the Deadwood. We have to think about who needs to come in, but more importantly, we need to get some of these players off the books, out of the club, move them on, rightfully as well, because, some of them still have a lot of talent. I said before about Ruben Loftus-Cheek on a previous episode that we did. He has a lot of talent, maybe just not at the level that Chelsea need. So I think if he goes to another club, he'll thrive, he'll perform even better. Mason Mount is a massive question mark about him. Kepa and Mendy, there's still a lot of talk about which one of those will be at the club next season. Does one of them go, and do we bring in another goalkeeper to compete as well? So there's a lot. Koulibaly is another name that's been mentioned, trying to recoup some money for him. And obviously the big elephant in the room, Lukaku, what happens to him? I read earlier on this week that we're valuing Lukaku currently at 70 million. So if a club comes in, can afford to pay that and give him the wages that he wants, hopefully we get the move that's right for Lukaku, right for the club. But there's a lot for food for thought there for Pochettino. But another key thing Pochettino has to do, he has to sign a partner for Enzo Fernandez. We cannot go into next season with no partner for Enzo Fernandez. The frustration that Fernandez has shown over the last 2 or 3 or even 4 games, with no clear passes to put through, no sort of system that he's playing, and he's probably not even used to this. He's come with a massive price tag. He's tried his best. He's probably been one of our most successful players in terms of key passes being completed. But he needs a partner. He needs an Ugarte. He needs a Caicedo. He needs someone in that position to help him in that midfield next season. And I think that is a massive thing for Pochettino. He has to get a defensive midfielder. That is key. That is crucial. Even if we don't sign a striker and we end up with Lukaku, or we end up with Armando Broja, or we end up with whoever, I think we have to get that DM. The DM is more crucial for me than anything, because without the right DM, your attack is useless. Without the right DM, your defense is useless. You need to have key bodies in that midfield to be able to function properly from front to back in a football club. We haven't got that at the moment. And this is why I think we really struggled this season without having, obviously Enzo didn't come in at the start of the season as well. So I think we've really struggled with that. We've really struggled with that whole area of the pitch for some years now. So I think we have to get that. But also, as I say that, we also, as I was just spoken about Lukaku, we have to get the right striker in. We have to get a striker who can come in. I know I said Ivan Toney, but I think that ship has sailed with the 8-month ban. But there are strikers out there that we can go and get. There are strikers out there. Now, a lot of people are going to say Harry Kane. I get it. And it's a good shout. Obviously, Pochettino coming in, favourite of Harry Kane, can get the best out of Harry Kane, going on to score. Harry Kane is going to want to stay in the Premier League to try and surpass the record that he's slowly creeping up on. But I just don't think for the price, for the money, for the age, for the injuries that we know that Harry Kane can carry as well, I just don't know if it makes sense to spend that much money on a player that is clearly at the back end of his career. I mean, short term, yes, next couple of seasons, next 2 or 3 seasons, it would be brilliant to have Harry Kane in the club. But at the end of the day, I just don't think using that money for him would be worthwhile. And he comes with the goals, of course, but look, there's other players that we're going to be linked with, I'm pretty sure, over the summer. Harry Kane will be one of them. Me personally, I think he goes to United, but we'll see how that goes. But we do need a striker. We need someone that can come in, hit the ground running, 20 plus goals a season. We don't need a striker that gets us 5 goals, 10 goals, misses half the season. We need someone who's prolific, knows where the back of the net is, knows how to score goals, and knows what they're doing in front, knows how to hold the ball up, knows how to link up with the wide players as well, knows how they all work together, and it has to be synced. It has to be all worked in. They have to all, whatever formation we're playing, as you can see, I'm excited, but whatever formation we're playing, we have to get it right. We have to get the system right for the striker as well. And that leads me back to my point about the DM. The DMs have to be linked up with the striker as well. So striker is key. Now, I mentioned Edouard Mendy, I mentioned Kepa, two goalkeepers who have both had their time, I think, in between the sticks, and at times have shown us quality and have shown us why we need another goalkeeper. So I think we have to go out, and maybe there's been a lot of talk about Onana, Kayla's Navas as well, another one that's been mentioned currently at Nottingham Forest. But I just think we need to go out and get. I mean, I like the fact we've got Slonina still on the books, who for me should be given an opportunity. I think we've signed him for a reason. Is he a world-class goalkeeper? Not yet, but can we nurture him into one? Possibly. So I think there's an option there, but it's probably wiser for us to go out and get a big name or get a goalkeeper with a bit more pedigree, a bit more behind them. Onana for me is probably the one that is top of that list. Some that I think we were in for before he received a ban. But look, whoever we get, we need to get someone who's confident, who can play out from the back, comfortable with both left and right foot as well, and obviously can save goals. So I think that's the ultimate thing. You know, I think some of the goals I look back on this season, where you look at Kepa, could he have done better? Mendy with sort of lapses in concentration too many times as well. Not good with his feet, not good from playing out from the back as well. So I think Pochettino has to come in. He has to address that as a top target, as well as a DM and a striker. In terms of who he gets, it's going to be difficult, because there isn't that many good goalkeepers, in my opinion, out there that is the quality that we need in terms of the whole restructure of the club that it's going through at the moment. So we need someone that's solid and commanding at the back as well. But we also, and I mentioned this to Theo earlier on WhatsApp, we need leaders. We need someone who's a leader as well. So I don't know who that's going to be. Again, I would look at someone like Declan Rice as a leader, someone who galvanizes the team. You know, he's done that a lot for West Ham. He's taken them to the Europa League final as well, so or the Conference League final. So I think we need someone who's going to be comfortable being as a leader, coming into a team, because we currently don't have any leaders. So whoever comes in, they're going to have to be very vocal. And I think maybe as time goes on, Enzo might be that player as well. You thought maybe Mason Mount a couple of years was going to be that person to take on the captaincy, take on the role of being a Chelsea legend to an extent, and go on to further his career. But obviously that is very much, it looks like a lost cause. So I think we need to bring in someone who's comfortable coming in as a leader. You know, Thiago Silva currently is that, but if we lose our Cesar Spilicueta, we've lost a voice in the dressing room. So I think we've got to bring in a lot of leaders. I think coming into this squad now is probably the right thing for Pochettino, because he's going to come in, be able to assess things. He's obviously been doing that already behind closed doors. He's going to be doing that officially from the 1st of July. There's a lot of work to do, And I think in between the background, he'll be doing a lot of that wheeling and dealing, looking at who needs to go, who needs to stay, who's got an opportunity to, the Lewis Halls, the Carney Chukwuemekas, Amari Hutchinsons, those sort of players. How does he look at those players as well and address those in the preseason games? But this is a massive thing for Chelsea. It looks like we might have got ourselves a lifeline in terms of trying to get back into that top 6 barrier of the league next season. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a really good appointment. I think he comes with a lot of experience. I think he's, in terms of his Premier League records, I think it's actually quite good. 256 matches, 132 wins, 61 draws, 63 losses, goals for 445. Obviously, that was with Harry Kane in his team, and goals against 272. So he actually does have a really good Premier League record in terms of the wins that he's got. Made his debut January 2013 against Everton in a 0-0 draw. I think if I remember correctly, he likes to play 4-2-3-1, which is ideal for us. I think that might work, but you never know. So if that is the case and that is the formation, there's a lot that we can do with the current squad that we've got, with the additions that I've just mentioned. If we can get those over the line as well, it looks like Agüero might be the one that comes in. I think personal terms have been agreed. The green light has been given by Pochettino to bring him in. So if it is him that comes in and partners Enzo Fernandez in that midfield, brilliant news for us. We've already got one ticked off. It just means we need the goalkeeper, we need a striker, and we need to offload a lot of players. But I'm looking forward to the summer. I'm looking forward to, obviously, a bit of break time from the chaos that we've had this season. But let me know what you think in the comments about Pochettino coming into the team, being officially announced by Chelsea. What do you expect from Pochettino over the next couple of months in terms of trying to bring the players together again, get the team working as they should be? What signings do you think we need in the summer as well to start the season on a high? Let me know all of that stuff in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you hit the Linktree link as well and give this video a thumbs up. This has been TDOT. Until next time, stay safe. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your bank holiday.